Hey everyone, and welcome back. So today we're going to talk about something that every great educator I know is obsessed with. Not just delivering a course, but figuring out how to make it even better the next time around. We'll be diving into some really practical, powerful ideas for continuous improvement, all from a guide on non-formal adult education. Let's get right into it.
We've all been there, right? You finish a course, you're wiped out, but you feel good, and it just feels like it was a success. But how do we really know for sure, you know? How do we get past that gut feeling to find real insights that can help our learners even more next time? Well, that's the big question we're going to tackle today. The key to answering that question is something called monitoring. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That word sounds a little bit like boring paperwork and bureaucracy. But trust me, stick with me here, because we're about to see how it's actually a powerful, super practical tool for real growth.
So, what are we really talking about when we say monitoring? It's not some formal, scary audit. It's literally just the habit of being a reflective educator. It's about staying curious and being committed to improving just by asking two really simple questions. How did it go? And how can we do better? That's it.
And the payoffs for this simple habit? They're huge. Monitoring helps you make sure your courses are actually hitting the mark and staying relevant. It helps you fix those little things that can make or break the learner experience. It also helps your whole team get better at what they do. And it gives you clear, hard evidence of your impact, which is always good to have for funders and stakeholders.
Okay, so how do we actually do this? Let's get into the good stuff, the practical tools. And the great news is, you really don't need to create these long, complicated surveys. We're going to look at some simple, human-centered methods that get you incredible results.
First up, the final circle. I absolutely love this one. All you do is set aside the last half hour of your course for a casual chat. You can throw out some simple but really powerful questions like, hey, what was the most useful part of this course for you? Or if we run this again, what's the one thing you think we should change? It's relaxed, it's conversational, and you get this rich, immediate feedback.
Next, exit tickets. This one is just brilliant for getting a super quick snapshot at the end of a session. You just hand out sticky notes and ask learners for two things. One thing they learned and one question they still have. In literally just a few minutes, you get a crystal clear picture of what landed and what might still be a bit fuzzy. It's so low effort, but the impact is massive.
And this next one is fantastic, especially when you're thinking about being truly inclusive. It's the smiley face sheet. For learners who might struggle with writing, this is just a perfect solution. You just list the course topics, and they can give you feedback using simple icons: a happy face, a neutral face, or a sad face. It's such a quick and dignified way to make sure every single person's voice gets heard. Okay, but it's not just about the learners, right? The people actually teaching the course, your team. Their perspective is absolutely crucial for seeing the whole picture. So let's look at a couple of easy ways to capture that. A team debrief is all about grabbing those insights while everything is still fresh in your mind. Just schedule a quick meeting right after the course wraps up. Ask things like, what surprised you? What were the highlights? What challenges popped up? Just talking it through as a team helps you share that knowledge and spot patterns you might have missed on your own. And hey, if you want a more personal way to do this, a simple journal can be incredibly powerful. And I'm not talking about writing a novel here. We're just talking a few bullet points after each session on what went well and what you might do differently next time. These little notes become an absolutely invaluable resource when you're planning for the future.
All right, so you've gathered all this amazing feedback from your learners, from your team. So what now? Because this next part is the most important step of all, turning all that listening into actual learning and real action.
And here is the absolute key. You're not trying to react to every single little comment. One person's opinion is just that, one person's opinion. What you're looking for, what you're hunting for, are the patterns. Did 5 different learners say they loved the breakout rooms? Did every single educator feel like that one activity fell flat? That's where you'll find the gold.
So to help you make this whole process a bit more systematic, the guide suggests a really simple, proven framework for turning those patterns into actual improvements.
It's called PDCA, and it stands for Plan, Do, Check, Act. It's a classic continuous improvement cycle that's so effective because it's just so simple.
And the cycle itself is super straightforward. It's just common sense, really. First, you plan your course. Then, you do it. You deliver it. Next, you check. That's the monitoring part we've been talking about, gathering all that feedback and looking for those patterns. And finally, you act. You make specific changes to your plan based on what you learned. That might mean tweaking learning outcomes, adjusting the workload, or changing up an assessment. And then the cycle just starts all over again.
Now, here's a really important piece of advice, maybe the most important thing to remember. That act phase does not mean you have to tear the whole course down and start from scratch. In fact, that's usually the wrong move.
Yeah, exactly. The real magic is in the small, manageable tweaks. Maybe it's just rephrasing a learning outcome, swapping out one activity for another, or adding an extra 10 minutes for discussion. These small, incremental improvements are almost always the most effective and sustainable way to go.
So, as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to think about. For your very next course, your next session, what's one simple thing from all this that you could try? Maybe it's an exit ticket, or just a quick 5-minute team debrief. The key is to just start somewhere.
And to help you actually do that, you're definitely going to want to join us for our next explainer. We'll be digging into the NFAE toolkit, which is packed with practical templates like a simple course evaluation worksheet to help you put all of this into practice. We'll see you then.